Today, we're going to talk about how to attract the right people into your life, whether it's the right partner, the right friends, just the right people around you. And we're going to go into why no matter what you do, you keep pulling in the wrong people. So everybody believes that there's a problem out there. Like you just haven't found the right people yet. You think you need to meet more people. You need to get into better rooms. You need to make more money. Maybe you need to look better. And then the right people will finally show up. And it makes sense why you think this way. But basically, every piece of advice you've ever heard just keeps telling you the same thing. Go find better people. But here's what nobody tells you. Nobody tells you that you don't attract the right people by finding those people. You attract those people by who you become. Because every single person in your life right now, the good ones and the bad ones, are a reflection of you. They're a mirror. And once you understand this one law, you can stop chasing people, and the people you're looking for will just naturally show up in your life. And I'm not going to hand you over some theory because I lived this for years. I pulled in the same people, the same problems, the same relationships, just the same version of my life on repeat until I understood what I'm about to show you. And I basically rebuilt my entire life on this single idea. And I've since walked the men that I coach through the exact same shift, and they've seen incredible results as well. So in this video, I'm going to break the whole thing down through the 3 things that are quietly running your entire life. Number 1 will be the fog. This is something you can't see yet. Number 2 is the snapback, why you keep attracting the same people. And number 3 is the architecture, the system that's actually going to help you finally change this once and for all. So we're going to go into why you keep attracting the same people, the one law underneath it, and the exact shifts that start pulling in the right people into your life, whether it's better relationships, better friends, better clients, a better life. So stay with me. So I want to sit in this claim for a second. The fact that every single person you attract is you, okay? Because it's the whole game. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Not what you say you want, not what you write in your journal, not what's on your vision board, but you attract who you actually are underneath the surface. The version of you that exists when nobody is watching. And I know that that's uncomfortable because it means that you can't blame another person anymore, but it also means the pattern that you keep complaining about, you are the common denominator. Look at every friendship, every relationship in your life. Every single time you said, why does this always happen to me? You were the common denominator in all of those things. And I'm not saying this to beat you up. I'm saying it because it's the single most empowering thing that you will ever accept. Because if they were the problem, right? If they were the problem, you'd be stuck waiting for better people to show up. But if you're the common denominator, that also makes you the solution. That also gives you the power to change it. So let me show you how this actually works, okay? There's an old principle which goes, as within, so without, right? As within, so without. Whatever's going on inside you tends to show up around you. Your outer life is quite literally a mirror of your inner world. So if you think about it, when you're insecure, you attract people who come from a place of insecurity. When you're in a state of lack in your business, you don't attract good quality leads. When you don't respect yourself, you attract people who don't respect you. When you're in a chaotic state of mind, your life gets chaotic on the outside. It's not a coincidence that this happens, and it's not bad luck. It's called correspondence. The outside is basically just reporting what's happening on the inside, and most people spend their entire lives trying to fix the reflection. They get into different relationships. They change the face. They change the girl. They change their business strategy, their outbound strategy. They change their marketing strategy. Maybe they change their environment. They change their city or where they live. And they're shocked when the same feeling follows them no matter what they change, because you can't clean up a reflection by scrubbing the mirror. You have to change what's standing in front of it. You have to change you. So people often hear the term like attracts like, and you attract your frequency, and they roll their eyes because it sounds woo-woo. So let me translate it into like logic, something concrete so you can understand, because it's actually psychology. Your frequency is just your identity in action. It is the sum of your beliefs about yourself. It's your nervous system's baseline, the patterns that you run without having to think about it. It's your subconscious behavior. It's what you believe that you deserve, and it's what you'll tolerate. That's your frequency. It's not woo-woo. It's not magic. It's the signal that you're constantly broadcasting through your behavior. It's your body language. It's your choices. It's what you say yes to, and it's what you put up with. And here's why like attracts like. You are drawn naturally to what's familiar. That's just your human nature. That's your nervous system keeping you safe. You're not drawn to what's good for you. A person raised in chaos feels bored by peace and then just says, oh, there was no chemistry. Or a person who doesn't feel worthy feels suffocated by somebody who treats them well. We don't attract what we deserve in theory. We attract what matches the story that we have about ourselves. So the match is the frequency, and you can change it because you can change the story. And some of you are convinced that the reason it hasn't worked is that you haven't found the right technique yet. You haven't found the right affirmation or the right method or the right morning routine. But what I want you to know is a practice, any technique run from an identity that doesn't believe is just noise. It's not going to work if you don't have the conviction. So the method is not the missing piece. The person that you become underneath is the missing piece. That's what you have to work on. You fix the frequency, and the simplest method will work, right? If you fix that frequency, any method will work. Keep the frequency, and no method on earth is going to work for you. So I just want to make that very, very clear. Now, if you are attracting what you are, then the obvious question is, well, what am I? What am I underneath? And the answer, well, most of it is that you can't really see. That's the whole problem. Under the surface, there's a version of you that you are not conscious of. It's just an automatic program that you're running on. There's wounds underneath that you've never quite named or faced. There's a story about your worth that you absorbed as a kid and never really chose. There's fear that you've been outrunning your whole life, and you've gotten so good at managing it that you don't even really feel it anymore. But it's still running the show. It's still choosing who you're attracted to, and that's why willpower does not fix it. You can decide consciously that I'm going to date healthier people, I'm going to have better friends in my life, and then feel absolutely nothing for the healthy one and get pulled straight back into the familiar chaos, because the decision is conscious. Yes, you're consciously thinking this is what I want, but the attraction is actually unconscious. And the unconscious always wins until you make the unconscious conscious, which is exactly what we're doing right now, actually. This is also why you can't picture a life that you don't believe that you deserve and drag it toward you from lack. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you already feel that you are. So trying to manifest from lack just broadcasts more lack. You become the man who already has the desired reality underneath, and it stops being something you chase and stops being, and it'll start just being something that shows up in your life. So, for example, let's break down like a tangible example so you can understand. Okay. Say you keep attracting a woman who drinks too much. This woman goes out every weekend. She's like a little out of control, a little cuckoo. Honestly, she might be a little bit of an alcoholic. And you think to yourself, well, hey, man, like I'm a positive guy. I've got my life together. I've done the work. So how do I keep ending up with this type of woman? This is the part that's going to sting a little bit. Maybe you're not the one drinking. But if you actually look closer, are you also escaping something too? Are you numbing with work? Are you numbing the way you feel with more work? Are you numbing the way you feel with the gym, with scrolling, with meaningless sex, with staying busy so you never have to sit with yourself? This woman in this example escapes with a bottle, but you might escape with hustle, with more work, and everyone praises you for it. But you're still escaping. It's the principle. You are escaping. She is escaping. Okay, that's why she keeps showing up. It's a different form, but it's the same frequency. Or maybe you both carry fear. Maybe you're both breaking promises to yourself. So hers is just louder. It's more obvious. Like you can physically see she's drinking a ton. Yours is socially acceptable, but underneath, you two are a match. You two are a match. That's why she's in your life. She's not the exception to your positive self-image. She is the evidence of what's underneath it, right? So this is the reframe that's going to change everything for you. She was never the problem. She was a mirror. The people who trigger us the most are showing us something that we haven't dealt with within ourselves. Anytime you feel an emotion towards someone, it's telling you a story about yourself because everyone is you pushed out. So in this example, again, this woman came into your life to make the invisible visible. She came into your life and you had the opportunity to finally open up your eyes, to force you to finally admit that you also have things to work on. You have wounds, you have fears, things inside you that still need to be healed. You wanted to make her the problem so that you wouldn't have to look inside because you're terrified of this. But she was never the problem. She was your messenger. And the second you get that, the people who frustrate you are reflecting you. You stop being a victim of what you attract and you become the one person who can actually change it. So why is it that when you try to get better people in your life, you keep attracting the same type of people? They just keep on coming back. Well, this is what most people do. They don't see a mirror, so they break up. They go find someone new. They change their city, different name, fresh start. And for a few months, maybe it feels different until it doesn't. Until the new person slowly turns into the exact same person they just left. Different body, different name, different mask, but the same familiar frequency that you already know because you changed the person, but you never changed the man inside. You never changed you. And the wound was never hers. It was yours. And you carried it right into the next relationship. And this is the loop that you're stuck in. And you will be running on this loop for the rest of your life, no matter how much money you make, how successful you become. It's going to be a new face, same pain, until you stop trying to fix what's out there and fix the one thing that you're avoiding, which is the man in the mirror. And some of you think the fix is the trophy, that once you get the thing, the money, the woman, the title, you'll finally feel valuable and the right people will see that. But external validation kills drive and repels people because gripping for that validation, you're broadcasting lack. Remember, everything's a mirror. Now you're broadcasting lack. Even though you want success, you're broadcasting lack, right? So needing a woman, needing someone's approval, needing to hit a goal, that need is a frequency and it pushes away the very thing that you want. You don't get the right people by needing them. You get them by not needing them because you are already full. And by the way, this is not just relationships. This law runs everywhere. The friends who take and never give. They found you because some part of you doesn't feel allowed to take up space, so you overgive to earn your place. Could be the business partners who cross you, the clients who disrespect your time, the team that won't step up. Everyone in your life are all mirrors. If people constantly walk over your boundaries, somewhere inside, you're not allowed to have them. If you attract people who don't take you seriously, you need to ask, where don't I take myself seriously? And I know it's not comfortable, but it is the law. And it's constant everywhere. The outer circle reflects the inner set point every single time, which means you can read your entire life like a diagnostic, which is great. You can read your whole life as data, which means it's not a verdict about you. The people around you are telling you exactly where the work is, but you're not reading the data. And before you blame your circumstances, whether it's your family and work consumes me and I can't get to the gym, it's a terrible season for my industry, the market's bad, whatever it is, understand the circumstance was never the set point. You are the set point. Because two men in the exact same circumstance can get opposite lives. Different fates. Same circumstance, different fates. Because the circumstance isn't deciding, the man underneath decides what his fate is going to be. So stop asking the world who you are and become the man undeniably deserving of the things that you say that you want. So here's how you actually reset it and start attracting better people into your life. This is where everything turns. And the moment you see this, really see that everyone around you is a reflection, everything begins to change because now it's in your hands. And as long as you thought it was them, you were powerless. You were just waiting for better people to randomly appear. But the second you understand that it's a reflection of you, you get the one thing you never had. You finally have leverage. Leverage. You can't change them. You can always change you. And when you change you, the reflection has no choice but to change as well. So how do you actually go in and change the man? How do you do it? Well, you don't do it with another affirmation that subconsciously you don't even believe. You do it in a very specific order. The first thing is awareness, okay? You have to bring awareness into your life. You name the wound out loud. The exact thing that you've been outrunning. Maybe it's, I don't feel like I'm enough. Just admit it. Finally admit it. I don't believe that I deserve real love. I'm terrified of being seen. And I know you don't want to say these things because you don't want to speak that into existence. But if you don't name it and address it, you can't change it. Naming it strips half of its power immediately because it stops running you from the shadows. That's the key. Okay. Also, as you begin to name it, you can start disassociating it from your identity. Oh, that's just the way the old me was. Eventually you get to that point, but the very first step is you have to name it. You have to finally face it. Second, you need to stop abandoning yourself. Every promise you break to yourself lowers the frequency, but every one you keep raises the frequency. So it could be something as simple as waking up when you said you would, or telling the truth, doing a hard rep at something. This is not discipline, all right? That's you proving to yourself that you are someone worth respecting. And your nervous system will start to update the story. So it's micro wins. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to drink a glass of water. Stupid simple, but it's the principle. You're proving to your nervous system you do what you say you're going to do. So keep the small little promises to yourself. And then third, you feel what you've been numbing instead of escaping it. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's grief. Maybe you just don't feel like you're enough. Let that move through you instead of medicating it with a drink or more work or the next deal you're going to close. That's what actually dissolves the pattern, because the pattern was only ever there to help you avoid that feeling. But if you do the work, your internal set point can finally move and the man underneath can change. And a different man attracts a different world, attracts better clients, attracts better relationships. And I know some of you are waiting for me to hand you a system and, Devin, just tell me the program, tell me what I have to do, tell me the technique. What do I actually do? But here's the thing. You cannot out-discipline a broken foundation. A perfect plan bolted onto an unchanged identity is going to die in 2 weeks. Right? You don't have a discipline problem. You've been plenty disciplined. And it's not a systems problem either. It's not a schedule problem. It's an identity set point problem. You have to rebuild the man first. Then the system basically runs itself. It literally runs itself. So how do you start attracting better people? Well, the hard truth first, you don't attract better people by looking for more people or putting yourself out there more. Yeah, those things help, but that's not what's going to do it. You attract them by becoming the person that they would want to be around. You want this woman, you have this vision of this woman in your mind. Bro, do you deserve her? Honestly, are you the man that deserves her? Because if not, you'll never have her. You have to become the person they'd want to be around. Better people are a byproduct. They're not a target. So here's what actually raises your frequency. Raise your standard for yourself before you raise it for anybody else. Because the way you treat you sets the ceiling for how others are allowed to treat you. People match the standard that you hold for yourself, not the one that you demand for them. So get radically honest about what you tolerate in your life. And every time you accept less than you know that you deserve, you're telling your nervous system, hey, this is my level. It's okay for people to treat me like this. So stop tolerating it. Not by making a scene and getting aggressive with these people just by quietly walking away from things that are beneath you. And that's how you reset your level and fill up your own cup. Desperation is a frequency, and people can feel it. So it repels healthy relationships, healthy business, and it attracts people who feed on that desperation. So when you become genuinely full on your own, your purpose, your body, your discipline, your peace, you stop attracting from lack and you start attracting from being in a state of overflow, a state of abundance. And then lastly, you need to heal. So you're not consciously drawn to the familiar wound anymore, because once the wound is handled, the chaos that used to feel like chemistry starts to feel like a red flag. And the healthy person who used to feel boring starts to feel like home. That is the biggest shift. You don't have to chase better people. You become someone for whom better people are simply the new normal. Now, picture this, right? You do the work. You move the set point, and then someone new walks into your life. And this time it's very, very different. Not because you got lucky, but because you are different. Healed attracts healed. Abundance attracts abundance. Peace recognizes peace. So the relationship isn't a battlefield anymore because you're not bringing your own war into it. The friendships give as much as they take. The client respects your time because you respected it first. And if it's not that, it's not that the world is going to get nicer to you. It's that the mirror is finally going to start to reflect the different man that you've become, right? And once you understand this, it doesn't stop just at people. The same law runs your money. The same law runs your physique. The same law runs your business. You don't keep the money that you're not identity ready to hold. You don't make the money that you're not identity ready to hold. You don't keep the body that doesn't match how you see yourself. Everything external drifts back to match the man underneath. That's why lottery winners go broke. Look up the statistics on how many lottery winners go broke. And that's why people who lose weight without changing their self-image always gain it back. It's all one law. The outer life organizes around the inner identity. So if you change the identity, every mirror in your life, the money, the body, the love, the business, has to re-render itself. That's not a life hack. That is the entire game. So as we land this plane, if you take one thing from this video, I want you to stop trying to change the people around you and stop trying to find better people, because every person you attract is a reflection of who you are underneath. If you took the same time you're spending swiping on dating apps, putting yourself out there, reaching out to people, and just worked on who you are at an identity level, you would 10x your results. So you change the man, you name the wound, you keep promises to yourself, you feel what you've been running from, raise your standard for yourself, and the reflection changes on its own. So understand that you were never stuck with the people you attract. You were only ever stuck with the version of you that attracted them in the first place. And that version of you can change starting today. Okay? So I want you to check this out. Again, if you're thinking that this is just Devin's talking theory here, I want to show you like a tangible example. This was this week. So one of the guys I coach came to me stuck in the exact same loop. He just went through a divorce. He was like going through a hard time. Just trying to get out there and start dating again, and kept attracting like the same woman that he just got a divorce from. Okay. We did the inner work. We went hard on the inner work. We named what was underneath. We changed who he was. We changed the way he looked at life, the way he saw himself. He wasn't even searching for a woman. And out of nowhere, a woman that he went on a date with 27 years ago randomly just reached back out to him. First date, dinner. He said, "Oh, we barely ate. The conversation was so good, we talked for hours." Then he takes her out to watch a lighthouse across the water until one morning. The next day, they're on the beach like all day long. The point being, he manifested this relationship because of who he became. He literally told me on the call, like, I've always wanted to do this with someone, and it happened. And it's not just relationships. This is the same law that I run in every single part of my life. This is how I attract clients who I love working with. This is how I attract the woman that I've dated. It's when I moved to Florida and I was like brand new here and I didn't know anyone, this is how I attracted friends that were high quality, that were like me. It's the same law, every domain, because when you change who you are, everything you attract will change with you. So if this video hit you and you just saw your whole life differently, subscribe, because I make videos that go deep like this every single week, and I don't want you to like miss out. Keep watching this content. This is genuinely going to change your life. I hope this video was valuable for you. And if you have any questions, just, you can comment or you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description. But change the man. Focus all your time on changing the identity, and you will start attracting everything and anything you want.